Code red, there's been a glitch in the matrix. They out here wildin' and it's too much, I can't take it. Red pill, blue pill, my mind knew they were shaping. Sound the alarm, there's been a glitch in the matrix.
What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. In this video, we're going to go step by step on how you can create and write your own objection letter instead of just using a copy and paste of mine or somebody else's. I'm going to show y'all step by step what you need to do, and I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to accomplish writing this letter for you. So let's get started. In the beginning of the video, you heard the song Glitch in the Matrix. I was given that song by somebody named Noon, aka Mr. Propane. Now, he's an ape, and he's been holding AMC, and he asked for some help in his letter. And I told him, I got you. Be cool. I was going to use it as a tool to show y'all what you needed to do, okay? Now, the first step that you're going to need to take is going to be knowing what you're objecting to, okay? You are objecting to the settlement that they are proposing in this case. In this particular case, they're going to give us 1 share of AMC for every 7.5 shares of AMC. This is going to happen after a reverse stock split of AMC and a reverse stock split of APE. And then they will take into consideration how many people have shares of AMC, and they will give them 1 for every 7.5. And then they will convert APE into AMC, and you'll have your new float. That's what's going on. If you object to that, that's what you object to. Now, this is simply the story of what happened. Allegheny has written a brief and says this is what they have done wrong, okay? And he begins the story about COVID and everything, and as it goes on down, it gives the charges that they believe AMC is guilty of, okay? And page 37 is the first count. Breach of fiduciary duties against the director's defendants. And then they list what they believe Adam Aaron and the board did wrong, and how they done it, and why they done it. All right. In count 2, which we'll talk about right here, violation of DGCL section 242B, declaration judgment of invalidity as to the preferred stock. All right. This is important, section 242B. All right. Now, this, like I said, is the story of what happened according to Allegheny. And they're pretty accurate in the story. They call the shot and they say it exactly what happened. And now they are bringing the counts against them. And violation of DGCL section 242B is one of the objections. Now, after they filed this February 20th. And on May 4th right here, you see defendant's brief in support of proposed settlement. So we went from February 20th, where they brought all these allegations against the board and AMC, and now 3 months later, not even quite 90 days, they have proposed a settlement. The defendant, which is AMC, is saying, hey, look, here's what we're willing to do to stop this lawsuit, okay? And then you have the plaintiff's opening brief in support of the say. Now, this is Allegheny, and they're saying that, okay, we filed this paperwork, all right, against AMC, and now we're sorry. We are wrong, or perhaps we're wrong, and we're willing to accept what AMC has offered us, okay? Now, that's what you're going to object to, okay? You are objecting to the settlement, okay? And we have the defendant's settlement, and we have the plaintiff's settlement, all right? And they're going to talk about why they're going to enter this settlement, and it is our job to react to these 2 documents, the plaintiff's opening brief of support and the defendant's brief in support, okay? You read this, and as you go down, and you see things that are wrong that you want to object to, that's exactly what you do. I'm gonna give you an example. Over here, they've got count 2, violation of DGCL section 242B. All right, they said that they violated that, and this is their complaint. Take a moment, pause the video, and read it. It's important. All right, and you go down here, pause the video, and read that. All right, go on down a little more, and they ask for their relief. Now, according to Allegheny, and this is the actual suit right here that you're looking at, that in count 2 they violated DGCL section 242B. All right, and AMC responded with this. That is their defendant's brief in support on page 25. I'm sorry, this is page 23, okay? This is where they respond to that count, that allegation that Allegheny has brought. It says, B, plaintiff's claim for violation of 8 Delaware Code subsection 242B2 was likely to fail on the merits, okay? Which means they didn't have grounds to even bring that charge. Now, here's the interesting part. This is where the fraud comes in. Watch this. AMC goes down and they're defending themselves, and on page 25, concerning this violation, they say, plaintiff's argument is the same one that has been continually rejected by Delaware courts throughout the past 80 years. Stop right there, people. Let's talk about that. What does that mean? It means that Allegheny, these professional lawyers, filed a complaint into the Delaware court that they knew, or should have known if they would have done their due diligence, that this argument was no good. For the past 80 years, the Delaware court has never approved this and said that the companies were in violation due to this argument that they brought. They knew it wasn't going to work. They were trying to get it to the point of settlement so that they could make $20 million. This is what you're objecting to, people, okay? Now, this is my objection to the court, okay? Now, I've done this fancy stuff. You don't have to do that. She don't expect you to. But I'm going a step further than just objecting. All you have to do is object. Now, from what we just got through seeing in the documents, let me show you how I objected to it. This is page 10 of my brief on all of my objections, okay? And my third one is the fees and expenses award, okay? Now, I talk about how they want $20 million, and I also talk about the $5,000 incentive award. All right, I'm building a case here. Take a moment, pause the video, and read that. I set this objection before the court because the overwhelming evidence that the plaintiffs have rushed to court and filed a premature lawsuit against misconduct by the defendants. Now, lead counsel is rushing to settlement, expecting fees and expenses for poorly conducted pre-investigations prior to the filing. I would ask the court to consider these facts when determining the proper amount owed to counsel for their work in the case. I would also draw attention to the attorney pay rate for just 4 attorneys representing the class. Michael Berry is bringing in $184,580. All right, he makes $1,100 an hour. Kelly Tucker makes $1,000 an hour. Jason makes $725. Carrie's making $575. Off our backs, people. With such a lineup of hard hitters on the team, one would expect a home run from individuals who make more an hour than most of the class brings home in a week. I'm saying these people make more in an hour than I make in a week. And they should have known better than to file that claim. They should have known that the court never approves that claim. And then I say it right here. Therefore, I felt it imperative to investigate the need of such exorbitant fees. Was Michael Berry's efforts worth $1,100 an hour? Did Kelly Tucker and Jason, whatever his last name is, truly exhibit substantial efforts and time expended by them to litigate this action? All right. It should be noted, stop and read this. It should be noted that plaintiffs took up approximately 20% of their opening brief in support of the settlement. In fact, the opening brief in support of the settlement looks more like a brief in support of attorney fees. You could end it there. All right? And that's your objection to the attorney fees. Now we turn our attention to another objection I've got, which is the defendant's right to immunity. If you agree with me, stop and read this. If you agree with me, then your objections. If the defendants participated in a complex and disloyal corporate scheme to circumvent shareholders' wishes in a corporate election, and if the defendants, after many months of trying to convince shareholders to approve proposals that would dilute their company's stock and used AMC's anti-takeover policy against shareholders to officiate their scheme, in their complaint, plaintiffs assert defendants violated or will cause to violate Delaware law. After reviewing the actual complaint, plaintiff's opening brief in support of proposed settlement and defendant's brief in support of proposed settlement is beyond the scope of reason to understand why class counsel would bring such condemning accusations against the CEO and board. After all, the lead counsel assured the court and members of the class that they appreciate there will be no difficulty in the management of the litigation. They're confident that they can win, is what they told the court. And in addition, the plaintiff stated, committed to prosecuting this action, has retained competent counsel experienced in litigation of this matter. If that is true, then how could you have put in a complaint that you knew that the plaintiff's argument is the same one that has been continuously rejected? They knew it was going to be rejected. So that's fraud, people. And that's all you have to object to. You could say, I object because it appears as if Allegheny filed the lawsuit simply for attorney fees, and they knew they could not win the case, according to page 25 of the defendant's brief in support. That's all you have to say, people. Now, if you've been following along with the video, then you've been writing down the little snippets that I've been putting throughout. What you want to do is take those, you go over to ChatGPT, okay? And it's chat.openai.com, ChatGPT. I've got the plus version. It's pretty good. It's really no big difference than the other version. But this is what you want to put in ChatGPT, okay? I have to write a letter of objection to a current lawsuit the company I own shares in is involved in. I agree with this writer and would like to rewrite this letter and make it 100% original. And then you put whatever snippet that you've got from this video into ChatGPT, press enter, and ChatGPT will give you a response. Dear Honorable Court, I am writing to object the proposed settlement submitted by lead counsel in the matter before the court. While lead counsel has assured the court that they will fairly and adequately represent and protect the interests of the settlement class, a thorough inspection of the proposed settlement reveals numerous, in this case, it's misleading facts that could jeopardize and harm the settlement class, okay? Now, let's do this. Let's go on up here. Let's copy this again, because this is our prompt. All right, we're going to copy it. We'll go back down here. We'll paste it down here. And in your case, you would take a snippet from what you saw in this video, and you're going to put a colon, and then you're going to whatever the snippet was, okay? Now, over here on my complaint, I would copy my objection for the immunity clause. I'd copy it, go back to ChatGPT, paste it in, and hit enter. And then watch the magic of ChatGPT. Dear Honorable Court, I am writing to object to the immunity clause of the proposed settlement in the matter before the court. The accusation brought forth by plaintiffs against defendant are serious and condemning, and if proven true, the defendant should not be granted immunity. Plaintiffs initial brought several railing accusations, and it goes on. Pause the video and read it. That's what ChatGPT did when I prompted it to, I have to write a letter of objection to a current lawsuit the company I own shares in. I agree with this writer and would like to rewrite this letter and make it 100% original. And then there's the next complaint, right? here against immunity. If you have another complaint, go up here, copy your prompt again, put it in the box, make sure it has a colon, and then go to your next, which would be attorney fees. And you would copy it, all the notes that you took from this video. All right, for example, right here. We'll end it right here. Copy it, go over to ChatGPT, make sure you got a colon there, and paste it in, and watch ChatGPT write your letter for you. I'm writing to object to the requested attorney fees, expenses, awards in the proposal settlement, and y'all got the point now. It's that simple. So now that you have your letter ready, you can handwrite it and mail it in, or you can type it and email it. These are the addresses right here. If you're going to email your objection, then email it to AMC Settlement Objections at blbglaw.com. And that's what I'll be doing with this objection. And then I will be mailing mine. Do not do that. I'm trying to become a part of the lawsuit so we can get a better settlement. But if you've got your letter ready, email it to this address right here below. Or if you want to mail it, you mail it to this address, AMC Investor Submissions, CO John Mills, Esquire, and the rest of the address. You see it right there. That's the way you mail it. You have two ways to do it, the judge said. Email it, which I would suggest doing, or mail it through snail mail. So there you go. I hope this has helped everybody learn how to write your letter, how to use ChatGPT to enhance your letter, and where you need to send it. So with that, love y'all, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.